and we'll post it later. All right, now for real, welcome to our Tuesday night team call. All right, so glad to have you guys with us. It is the end of July, so we're looking, guys, hello, end of July, what even? Just a really quick special, extra special shout out for Jimmy Lou, who is joining us again from the hospital. Thank you so much. And I think that beautiful gal behind the mask was Chelsea Waddell in your room with you. So hello to both of you. She could be getting poked at the moment, but we're so glad that you're here. Hello. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. All right, so we are going to try to keep this short and sweet, but again, with us, it's really no promises. It'll always be sweet, just not sure it'll be short. Quick plug, if you guys did not see the live tonight, the special VIP Joule training that was streamed live into Team Awesome, please go over and look at that. If you aren't in Team Awesome for whatever reason, please message your upline and they will get you connected. It was our Diamond Eva Schmidt and then our sidelines Sherry Harbage and Marge Martin, Sapphire and Diamond respectively, who shared their brilliance tonight. I think, yeah, Janelle said it was so good. Something that they talked about at the very end, which will encourage you to keep listening to the end, that we don't often hear people talk about, because why is it that we can't talk about money? I'm going to tell you that these three women combined make, well, they're probably close to like 1.75 million a year between the two of them, for sure, if not more. So anyway, they talk about how they spend money or what makes them the happiest to spend money on. And it might surprise you. It might surprise you. There was one thing that I think had most of us in absolute tears. And so that was super great. But I always love hearing from these ladies and how they got to be where they currently are, where they're going. You know what I mean? And yeah, Janelle was watching with me and her comment, so I'm sure she's fine if I share this. She just said, it's not like any other MLM that I've heard of. And I'm like, nope, this is the tip of the iceberg. These are just, they're great people, but they're not, I think they're diamonds in the rough because I love them and they're my friends, but incredibly generous people who have a heart for truly helping other people, even outside their businesses, whether it's missions, whether it's people in their city, in their towns, like whatever. It's ingrained in people who are Plexus, and especially people who are top earners in Plexus. They are so incredibly generous. So that's super cool. So we want to get right down to it tonight, guys, and we're going to ask some questions of you. How many of you guys are super excited about, okay, let's see. Let's not use resetting your business because, you know, we're all talking about the reset. Maybe we could talk about revving up your business, just like you are resetting and revving up your metabolism. Is anybody like really appreciating the reset and their metabolism benefits? Can we get an amen? Yes. Fantastic. Can I say that I've only done one reset? I'm not like some of the other ladies here who have done two, but I will tell you, I've done a reset and I'm still losing weight, even, what am I, a week and a half out? So pretty fantastic. I'm really excited about that. And I love the results that are coming in from our second round of reset. But we want to talk about your businesses tonight. Maybe you are just starting with your business. Maybe you are going for silver. Maybe you are going for a re-rank. Maybe you are going for your next rank. It doesn't matter. All of this information is completely applicable to you, regardless of where you're at. So the first thing is that I need to ask you, and if you are brand new to this, you might not have a total clear answer, but we want to help you with that. My question for you guys is, if you could have anything in your business, what would it be? If you, and I'll quote myself, so sorry, no yabbits. We don't do yeah, buts, no yabbits. You're not allowed to yabbit yourself. It's like, well, I'd have this. Yeah, but no, we're not yabbiting tonight. We are just putting it out there. What if you could have anything from your business? If you guys are brave enough, put it in the comments. I'm going to tell you a little story as to why I'm asking this. So driving with my 16-year-old son the other day, and he was feeling a little bluesy about summer because, you know, friends have been away, or he's been involved in a camp, or we've been away, or whatever. And he says to me, Mom, I just don't want to have a really crummy summer. He might have not said crummy. He might have said something else, but I heard crummy because I'm not choosing violence today. This is like, we're choosing good thoughts. Okay. I don't want to have a really crummy summer. And I'm like, dude, I totally get you. I don't want to have a crummy summer either. But you know what we need to do first? And he goes, what? I said, you need to decide what would make it a really fantastic summer. Because if you don't decide what a fantastic summer would be, it doesn't matter how many times we go for ice cream, how many trips to the beach we take, how many times you get to hang out with your friends, how many hours you make, and how many clothes you buy, how many pairs of shoes you buy. You won't hit that we're having a great summer because you've never set the bar. So I want to turn this around to your business. If you don't ever set the bar for what you want out of your business, how will you ever experience success? We've heard it before. If you don't feel successful at gold, and you can't celebrate going gold or going silver or going senior silver or whatever, or doing your IPA every day and bringing in 3 people in a month, if you can't celebrate that, you will be holding a diamond on the stage at convention going, yeah, that's not, but I'm not successful. And for those of you who maybe don't know, diamond is the top rank of the company, and they on average are making about $500,000 US in a year on average. Holding a diamond, making $500,000 a year, going, yeah, but, right? If we aren't clear in our intentions, if we aren't clear in our goals, we will never know when we've actually gotten there. So what if you could have anything that you wanted to? I'm going to tell you that you can actually have anything you want to. And all it comes down to is activity, time, patience, and growth. All right, Chelsea said she wants to re-rank gold and help develop a silver this month. I love that. I absolutely love that because I love it. I want to do this for me, and I'm going to do this by helping somebody go silver. So silver is adding 3 people to your team who are all either purchasing welcome packs in 1 month or 100 PV. They all need to be doing one or the other in the same calendar month. And that is how you build a really successful, sustainable business. I will tell you this, you can get to gold all by yourself. Has anyone here gotten to gold with not a whole lot of duplication? Okay, so that means that you didn't have like 5 silver ambassadors on your team when you went gold. You probably did the lion's share of the recruiting, which is totally fine. Sometimes you have to do that in order to get to find those people who want to go silver, right? But how many of us have duplicated and have made silvers on our teams? How many people have raised up? Okay, there's more people. Sherry, put your hand up. Nicole, put your hand up. Diana, put your hand up. Linda, put your hand up. Like, how many of you guys have developed silvers? Yes, you have. Is it easier to grow a team with more people working with you, or is it easier to do it yourself? With you or yourself? Yeah, this side. It's the with you. It's the with you. Sometimes it feels maybe like it would be easier if you just did it yourself, but that's not actually the truth. That's falsehood. That's not actually how this works. What I love about this, and actually I should try to find this reel that she did today. Becky Page did a brilliant reel about network marketing today, and I'm going to show you guys. And it's residual income defined. I'm hoping that you can hear it. Okay. You already, I'm just going to show you off my phone. So you're just going to have to pay attention for 1 second. Let me put me on a speaker view. Speaker. There I am. Except I see Sherry. Do you see Sherry or do you see me? I'm going to spotlight me. Hi, I'm spotlighting myself just so that you know. You're welcome. No, just kidding. Okay, are you ready?
So I went on a girls' getaway last week, and one of our sweet friends bought all of these gifts for us. And then one by one, each of us ended up sharing these same gifts with everyone else. But here's the deal. Not a single one of us makes money in sharing that water bottle. And I could work super hard to get an affiliate link to be able to share this water bottle with you. Or I could find a product that I love and I could share that link with my friends and I'd make money. And then they could create their own link and share it with their friends and they'd make money and I'd make money. And then sometimes their friends that I've never even met would create their link and share a product that they love with their friends and they'd make money and my other friends would make money and I'd make money. And that, guys, is the brilliance of network marketing. What's holding you back?
Hi, my name is Janelle and I'm guilty of making things overcomplicated. Anybody else just listen to that and they're like, okay, I've overcomplicated things maybe once or twice. How many of us have ever been influenced to buy something from somebody else? Huh. Yep. Okay. I'm looking at this right here on my neck. This is an influence. I've been influenced by Plexus Jewels. Yeah, and Amy's got hers. I've been influenced and I have purchased. Guilty. Let's see, what else can I look around at? Hi, my name is Janelle. I've been influenced. Yep, and I'm drinking out of a Yeti cup. Amy's got her earrings. It happens all the time. When we overcomplicate things, oftentimes we're making it about us. We're making it about ourselves. And we need to just quit it. We just need to quit it, right? So developing a silver this month, that is a brilliant focus. I love it. Janelle says to start off with, I would like to replace the income from my second less favorable job. I love that. And I would love to tell you right here and right now, it is so possible. It is so possible. And like, it's not even possible. It's probable, right? I actually got offered a job today. Can I be that transparent with you? I got offered a job today and I went into one of my favorite stores. And if you guys don't know, I love working retail. I merchandised for a really long time. I like people and I like clothes and it's just a me thing, right? And I would do it. Seriously, I go into stores and I sell people things all the time and I don't work there. It's ridiculous. Anyway, as I was talking to this lady who I have befriended and she's the manager. And she was saying how she stayed all night one night merchandising until 5 a.m. I'm like, I used to do that all the time when I managed a store. If you ever find yourself doing that, call me. I would love to come in and help. I'm like, I don't even care. Like, you probably wouldn't even need to pay me for it. It seems like a really fun thing to do. And she's like, well, I'm looking for a merchandiser. And I was like, yeah, I'm not looking for a job. And she was like, well, why? And so I started thinking about that. Why am I not looking for a job? And you know what I landed on? I'm really tired of, or I shouldn't say tired of it because I haven't done it in a really long time, but the idea of exchanging my time for money is absurd. Why? When I can't multiply my time, I'm only one human. Do you know how long it would take me to make $300 working retail? A really long time. With Plexus, it doesn't take that long because like Chelsea said, she wants to re-rank gold. That's really exciting. How's she going to do that? Well, she's going to go help somebody else go make money. So she is going to go help somebody make money, and then she's going to get paid too. And then that person is going to go and help some other people make money. And simply by Chelsea helping that person, she's going to start thinking about all the other people on her team who might need some help making some money too. And so while she is still talking to all of her people who are new potentials that need Plexus, she's starting to think of more people on her team who could really use an extra $300, balance in their lives. It doesn't matter. But she's multiplying the time that she's spending. It is not a simple product for cash done transaction. And after this month, when Chelsea's helped that person go silver, that person is going to get a paycheck in the middle of next month. And they're going to get so excited. And then they're going to be like, wait a second, you mean I actually make real money? And she's going to say, yes. We say, thank you, Plexus. You don't even need to know how. You're just making money. And they're like, well, that was easy. What else do I do? Well, you can do it again. So they can go off and do it again. And Chelsea can help show them some more tips and tricks. And then they can make more. And so maybe that means that they're helping to pay for shoes for their kids for school. Or maybe they're a grandma and they get to use that money to go and spoil their grandkids. Or maybe that person really, really likes Amazon and books, and they're going to go buy books on Amazon that they wouldn't have had, they would have had to tell their husband about, before. And now they can be like, no, I'm making book money, right? There's no such thing as too many books. All of these things are so possible, but we need to put a name to it. And then we need to decide what we need to do. So we're going to go to the scary side, because I'm going to tell you, there is one incredibly scary thing somebody's going to tell you when you decide to do this business. But there's only one. Do you guys know what it is? And it's something you have heard over and over and over again. How many of you guys have had toddlers? Did you know that that was setting you up for a positively incredible network marketing career? Because the scariest thing that you will ever hear in network marketing is no. Is there anyone on the screen who's never been told no before? I mean, I'm an only child, and so like I probably have been told no less than most of all of you. But I think a lot of us have been told no many times. Many, many times. And the difference between us and people who are further along in this business than us is what? Who wants to say it? Who wants to unmute and say it? What's the difference with no?
They've gotten more no's.
They've heard it more often. I promise you that our diamond emerald, she's a diamond reentry emerald with a diamond husband on her team, has heard no more than I have. And she just got good at it. So really, the main thing that you need to get good at in this business is receiving no. And it's not about you, it's about them. And sometimes the people who are saying no are actually just saying, not right now. Exactly, Janelle. I love it. Okay, so we're actually going to watch a video. Sherry, are you able to pop that up? Or is it me? You're not, you're talking, but I can't hear
I sent you the link.
Yeah, I know. I have the link. Hold on. We can do this.
The second link, I think.
The second one. All right. I'm going to pull this up, and we're not going to watch it all. And hold on a second. Okay. Sure. It's telling me a network error caused the media download to fail partway. It's a very sad day. Hold on. Let me reach.
Okay. I have a lot of screens open, so.
You have a lot of screens open?
A lot of programs open.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why it's saying a network error for me. It's just a good technology night.
Oh, it's one of those nights. Okay.
You are a co-host, so you can. So we're going to watch a portion of this. This was Go for No on the Plexus Book Club a few months back. And just so you know, KNOW. So you know, we are doing this book, Go for No, starting in the middle of August. So we are almost done with The Slight Edge. If you haven't read it, it's okay. You can still join us for the last couple weeks. Middle of August, we are going to start Go for No. And it's only going to be a 2-week thing. But if you want to get familiarized with this now, while you're waiting for the book is tiny. You can watch this with us now, and then we're going to give you the link for the remainder
Go
of
for No
it.
success story. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate everybody joining me this morning. There is nothing like talking about failure, rejection, and the word no on a Saturday morning, right? But how did I end up getting this job? It's certainly not what I thought I would be doing, I will tell you that. My dream when I was a little kid, about 8 years old, was to make movies. I wanted to be a movie producer. I wanted to write movie scripts. In fact, I was completely in love with the movie Star Wars. So yes, as a little girl, completely in love with the movie Star Wars. And one day, and I
That what happened to you too?
I didn't even get that far,
Okay.
but yeah.
I'll see if I can refresh it.
Otherwise, y'all are just going to have to go in your back office and find it yourself. Oh, and there's
thank you
Jean-Pierre.
so much, Genevieve. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is going to be my big break. I'm going to contact George Lucas. So I waited a few days. My memory is that it must have been summer vacation because I don't remember being in school. I remember it being like in the middle of the day. And the day came and I called the number. And like an 8-year-old kid would do, I had just started actually calling friends. That became a thing around age of 8. So I had been using the phone. I pick up the phone, I dial, and I say, this woman answers and she says, George Lucas's office. And I say, is George there? You know, like you would do with any one of your friends. And she says, may I ask who's calling? And I say, yeah, Andrea. And she says, can I ask what this is in regards to? And I said, oh, yes. Well, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. And I know that George Lucas is involved in a lot of projects and a lot of creative things. And I have a lot of ideas that I would like to share with him. I think that he might like to have a producing partner. And yeah, so I would just like to work with him and it would be amazing. And she says, very nice, she says, oh, I get it. Okay, well, listen, I have the perfect thing for you. She said, there's something called the George Lucas Fan Club. I'm gonna help you get set up. You're gonna be able to stay in touch with George. You're gonna see what projects he's got going on. And you know, you'll see the upcoming movies and it'll be great. It's perfect. We'll send you a little welcome kit and everything. And I said, oh, okay. I kind of realized I wasn't going to get to talk to George Lucas. Thought I was, but no. So I got signed up. I actually got my welcome kit in the mail for the fan club. But after talking to her, you know, I hung up the phone and I remember in my memory being a little disappointed. And that was basically it. You know, it kind of moved on. I always had a dream of making movies, but you know, that was just kind of it. So a couple of years ago, I was talking to my mom about this story. We were laughing about me calling George Lucas, and she said, Andrea, do you remember though what happened when you hung up the phone? And I said, no, I guess I went on with my life. She said, no, you were inconsolable. You threw the biggest screaming, crying fit of your life. You were rolling on the floor. You were You were inconsolable. I had to slap you across the face just to get you to calm down. It was unbelievable. And I said, really? I don't remember any, no, that's not true. She's like, it's absolutely true. It was, you were a mess. And you guys, seriously, I must have blocked it out. I don't remember that at all. And she said, yeah, that's what happened. And that was my first like professional no. You know, I got no's from teachers, I'm sure. I had gotten no's from my mother all the time, right? But that was my first professional no, and I did not handle it very well, right? As an 8-year-old kid, I'm rolling around screaming and crying on the floor. I will give myself credit for one thing, and that is that this was a really big no. I mean, I was calling like this famous movie creator, producer, director guy, but at the same time, I think back and I think, oh, my, you know, poor me, like what a horrible reaction to have, you know? And also that I never pursued past, you know. I think the reason this happens to, I think why it happened to me, and I think why it happens to all of us, is that we are biologically wired to avoid rejection. It is built in our DNA to not get rejected. We don't want to get thrown out of the tribe, so to speak. And so those reactions, and I know that none of you watching this are, you know, throwing your, you know, throwing a screaming, crying fit. Probably, I don't think you are, like I did. But, you know, we have these super emotional reactions because it's wired into us. And so that's what happens. You know, we start to shrink and we start to avoid rejection. We stop asking for things, even getting safe no's from family and friends, but also tougher, you know, more businessy no's. So I want to ask you this question, which is, what are the signs that rejection, because it's wired into us and a lot of us face it, and you see when you hear from someone like Emily, you see the work that she's put in to overcome it, which is amazing. But let's talk about those of you who maybe are still kind of dealing with it, which is, as I said, completely and totally normal. So I want to go through 5 signs that rejection is affecting your business. And by the way, you guys are going to get a handout with these 5 signs. I created a little 1-page handout. They're going to send it to you after this training. So if you're taking notes, fantastic. But you know, don't worry, you have to jot everything down on this thing. One of the signs is that you will only call or reach out to people who you believe, you think, you know will say yes to you. And of course, I'm not sure most of you are psychic, so of course we don't know who that is, right? So that becomes a huge issue. Number 2, you get depressed after getting a no. Emily mentioned that, you know, she felt really bad, kind of icky. Some people feel embarrassed or ashamed or like they're begging and then they stop their activity. 3rd sign, you get anxious, you procrastinate when having to reach out to people. You know, you just come up with like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, and now is not the right time, you know, come up with all these excuses. You feel a fear upsetting someone, right? You have that fear of selling. You don't want anyone to think you're being pushy. You don't want anyone to think you're being aggressive, right? So there's all of those fears. And then finally, and this is kind of the worst one, unfortunately, and that is that you aren't having any fun anymore. And I know that, and sometimes that causes people just to quit and give up altogether. You have a fun business. It's definitely changing people's health. It's changing people's lives. And as Genevieve said, health and happiness, right? So part of happiness is having fun. So we want to have fun in this business, right? So how do we change all of this? And this really brings me to the next question, which is, and this is a really important question, is it possible to become someone who doesn't fear rejection? Here's the great news. Absolutely. Yes, you can. I actually am living proof because I didn't like hearing the word no. I told you my George Lucas story. That was just the beginning, right? I like to joke about this. Hopefully this won't offend anyone. I'm a pathological people pleaser. So if I don't want anyone to say no to me, because if they said no to me, maybe that means they don't like me. And I want everybody to like me, right? I just want to be liked. I'm just one of those people. So maybe some of you are listening to this and you feel the exact same way. And so it's really important that when I ask you the question, is it possible to become someone who doesn't fear rejection? Now, I'm not saying that it never bothers you and you don't have a sting. That sting is literally biologically wired into you. I feel the sting, but can you operate at a different level? Look at what has happened. Emily is the perfect example and the perfect way to kick this training off, because look at where she was. She said, gosh, is there like a way, is there a strategy, is there a thing where I could not avoid no, but kind of go for it and then change how I think about it. And if I change how I feel about it, things will be different. That's exactly what she did. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The answer is absolutely, you need to start with the belief that you can. I'm living proof, Emily is living proof, and thousands of other people are living proof as well that you can change your mindset around this issue. It takes some work, right? It's not going to happen overnight. It takes some work. It takes ongoing motivation, as I like to say. So I want to tell you one of my next defining go for no moments. After I realized that I was not going to work in Hollywood with George Lucas, that was pretty obvious. I decided when I was in community college that I wanted to be a crime scene investigator, because that was a logical move, right? From Hollywood movie producer to crime scene investigator makes total sense. And I ended up getting a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. When I graduated, there were basically no jobs around for people in that line of work. And I had a choice. I was going to be able to intern for no money, which I was tired of making no money as a college student, or I could get promoted in the job that I had been working for the last couple of years, and it was at a company called LensCrafters. And I ended up getting promoted very quickly through that organization and ended up running a $3 million location at the age of 24. I was doing orientation trainings, 2-day trainings on sales, customer service, and management. And that is where I met my husband, my now husband, Richard. And he taught me the go for no kind of philosophy, and I applied it on the job and I got amazing results. But one day he comes to me and he says, they bring outside speakers and trainers into our company all the time. And he said, do you know that we could be one of these people? We could be like people from the outside. We could be one of these outside speaker trainers. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. I didn't know what he was talking about, really. What it happened to involve, though, was quitting my fabulous job that I had worked so hard to get. So I did, on his recommendation. We both quit our jobs, actually. And our goal was to work with large retail organizations teaching our sales, customer service, and management philosophies, which included Go for No. There was only one problem. We needed to get clients. And we didn't have any. I bought a fax machine. Now you guys have to, this is a long time ago, so I bought a fax machine. That's where we are. I actually had a fax machine and a phone and dial-up AOL service. So I was in business and had to figure out how to get clients. Well, as luck would have it, there was an event going on in San Francisco. It was called the American Society for Training and Development. It was this huge, huge event. And we knew that some of the big retail clients that we wanted to work with, we wanted to hire us, would be there. So we didn't, of course, have a lot of money. We're bootstrapping everything. And at that time, we wrote a little short book, shorter than Go for No, if you can believe it. It was called Unlocking the Secrets of Retail Magic. We wrote this little book because this little book we thought could be the door opener for us. We had no brochures. Our competitors had fabulous booths at ASTD with carpet and chairs, and it was fantastic. And we had our little book. So we fly up to San Francisco, which by the way, is very expensive. So I was nervous. I was nervous just doing it, right? Going up there, spending all this money. But we buy the tickets to the event and there's a networking session. I think it was on the second night. And so we got this opportunity to network at this event. And I'm walking around and I'm looking for prospects basically, right? And I see a woman across the room and her name tag says, Deborah Maston, VP of HR. And then a really big American retailer underneath that. So this was like the perfect ideal client. So I have two thoughts pop into my head at this moment. I wonder if you can guess what they were. So one thought is, oh my gosh, this is it. You need to walk up and talk to this woman. And number two is, oh my gosh, whatever you do, don't walk up and talk to this woman. This is going to be a disaster. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you flew all the way up here. Here you are. Here's your go for no moment. What are you going to do? So I just gathered my courage and decided that even if I was to make a total fool out of myself, I would rather be sitting on the airplane going home thinking, wow, you were a total idiot. You blew that, than saying, wow, I wish I had like walked up to this woman. So anyway, I decide, and all of this is happening in rapid, right, couple seconds. I decide just walk up to her. So I go up to her, feeling like a child, actually. It's really funny. She was not super tall. This woman was actually probably like a foot shorter than me, but in my head, like she was just so powerful. So I hand her, I said, hi, Deborah, my name's Andrew Waltz. My husband and I have recently launched a training company. This is a great example of some of the work we do. I handed her a copy of our book and I'm looking down as she's flipping through it as the super powerful executive that she is, waiting for her to tell me what she thinks. And she looks up at me and she says, do you guys do distance learning? And I said, absolutely. Of course we do distance learning. And she says, this looks really interesting. Okay, great. Call me on Monday. Now, Richard and I had split up because he was going to go network and try to find people, and I was going to go network and try to find people. And now I am so excited because this has gone well, right? I have literally gotten permission. I got her card to call her, and she's expecting a phone call from us. And I'm so excited. I'm running around the hall, trying to find Richard, and I find him and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what just happened. I just talked to this woman. She's the vice president of human resources for this huge company. And she wants us to call her on Monday morning. And she also asked if we do distance learning. And he goes, what's distance learning? And I said, I have no idea. I have no idea, but we're going to find out what it is. So as it turns out, distance learning is exactly what we do these days, but back then it was going to their headquarters and being in their studio, and they were broadcasting training to all of their different locations all over the country. That's what distance learning is, as we now all know. So that meeting changed everything because we ended up getting hired. We worked with that company multiple times, and it was really the door opener to get us into other companies. So sometimes it's just that one big yes that, changes everything for you.
I'm just going to stop it there because I think this is just a really great example of our whole business model. There's another 40 minutes probably of this video, but I really believe that it's making that ask that gives you that fluttery feeling in your stomach. And it may be the ask of a friend because you're not sure what they're going to think. It may be the ask of somebody that you believe has influence because you know that if they support your idea, they will influence others. Or it may be the ask of a stranger. And actually, sometimes it's easier to ask a stranger. because you're not so tied into their response. And it's to let yourself make the ask.
Totally. I totally agree. And sometimes what we can do, and I'm just gonna sometimes it because I'm sure you've never done this, but as you lead other people, you'll find that sometimes people will do this where they will have these ideal people in their minds and they know who they are and they even know them, like they're not strangers, and they'll write them down and they go in a different column than everybody else. Well, I don't want to ask this person yet because my ask isn't good enough. Or, well, I've still got this person to talk to, but I'm just not ready to talk to them yet. We call those chicken listers. But here's the thing. Often people take 10 to 12 interactions with you before they're ready to turn that no into a yes. So if you consider that when you start talking to somebody about taking a look at the pink drink, about being on a Zoom, about like any of these things, some people, it's a yes right away. Sherry was a yes right away when Shannon talked to her. She took one look at things and she's like, this looks like good stuff. And then she dove in. Other people, it took longer for them to say yes. I can think of maybe one person that I've ever purchased something from in network marketing who has come back to me and said, hey, how are you doing with blah, 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 blah. Here's a suggestion for you. Or, hey, thanks for coming to this event. Did you have any questions? Follow up is so important with these people that we get no's from. But we have to be okay with the no. And the concept of this whole Go for No book isn't go for yes. It's go for no, because we know that we need to talk to a certain number of people before we're going to get a yes. And so if the focus is not on getting a yes, then it almost takes some of the pressure off, right? Now, that isn't to say that you can just garbage ask people, send them a 27 screen message. Please don't. You still want to put your best ask out there, but realize that the no's are what is going to make you into where you want to go. Maybe if Janelle knew that she needed, okay, I don't know how much money she needs to make, so I'm just making up like a bizarre number, but maybe if Janelle knew that she needed 960 no's in order to quit both her jobs, do you think she would just start working on those no's? I was talking to a lady yesterday in Superstore. She goes, I said, so are you almost done with this job? Like, because I know that she's been wanting to retire for a while. She goes, actually, I have 313 days left. They're on my countdown on my phone, and it tells me every day. And every day she checks off one of those days and she knows she's one more closer to her goal. So what if you knew exactly what that number was going to be in order to get you to your goal? Or if you truly believed that gathering no's was the key to getting you where you want to go? So we're going to do this book. And you can order it right now from Amazon. It's a little one. Now it's by Ray Higdon, right?
So it's by Ray Higdon. So it's Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz with Ray Higdon. So all three names are on there.
Okay. Because there's different ones. And this one was published in when?
This one? No, let me look.
Just so you know, because there used to be another one. But
This is the current one, March 2017 is the copyright.
Perfect. But we don't want you to wait until we start the book in order to take action. Are we getting this? So you need some actionable steps. You need some actionable steps. First of all, you need to know where you're going. What is your next step? Maybe it's to hit silver. Maybe it's to get 3 people to join as VIPs this month, because once you hit silver, that's sort of our next goal. Our next goal is to get 3 VIPs a month. Did you know that right now, it doesn't matter where you are in the scheme of things, if you get 3 VIPs with welcome packs or with the same PV order, 100 PV order, you get an extra $100 this month. American. So if you're Canadian, that's like 135,000. No, just kidding. 130 some with the exchange. I love being, you know what? When my American friends are like, do you have the graphic with the Canadian dollars? I'm like, no, I don't use those. I use the American ones and I show them the money and I'm like, isn't this great? And people are like, that is great. I'm like, and it's American. So all you have to do is just press in your little calculator, 1.33, and you get more money. And they get so excited because you get dinner and the shoes, or I don't know how we would change this for, I need a male mirrored thing. We're going to have to come up with something. Anyway, but it's more money. So you get like $133 and that's just the bonus. That's not even your commissions. It's not your welcome pack bonuses. It's like, that's it, right? So why do we talk about people and VIPs and numbers? Well, because it is the formula to earning more money. But guys, please do not mishear me for a second. I always talk about this business as being bipolar, and I always will. Because why do we love this? Because we change people's lives with Plexus. I'm sorry, I sold other things before in the past. Nothing, no dryer ball, no candle, no anything that I ever worked my tuchus off to sell in a month ever changed somebody's life. It doesn't matter how nice the candle smelled. It didn't change somebody's life. But Plexus does. They do. It, like the products from a retail perspective. You get somebody on ease who has chronic pain. It's going to change their life if they take it right. I mean, like really, we have to have some common sense here. But it has the capacity to change people's lives, whether they are doing the business and coming to Hawaii with me in the fall on an all expense paid trip, just a little in there, whether their feet are in the sand in Hawaii with me, or whether they're just taking the product. There is a life change available for everyone. And each side of it is available for anyone who wants to take it. So we work on changing people's lives, and we have this crazy generous company that compensates us brilliantly for doing that. So if you need a purpose for this business, realize that this is real life changing stuff for people. The first time I ever had a husband say to me, I feel like I finally have my wife back. If I wasn't hooked on doing this business to help other people, it was that moment when that guy said that to me. And I realized that these two had been having marriage problems, and it had a lot to do with her and her inability to get well, and his stress over her not being well, and their inability to co-parent well because of her health. It was crazy, you guys, because I realized that Plexus is changing marriages. They're changing quality of life for people. They're changing the ability to parent. They're changing their ability to grandparent. It's changing their ability to be a friend. It's like everything. The old way of saying this is, what if this could change everything? And they're not kidding, because it does. Shannon shared her story in Grow in Health and Happiness today. And I'd encourage you guys to go in there and take a look. Every Tuesday from now until the end of August, we have somebody going live in Grow in Health and Happiness to share a bit about their story, products that they love, why people should hop in and give them a try. You need to go and watch these live videos. Invite your potentials into that page. So first of all, you are going to write down where you're going. What would you want to do? Okay. What if you could do anything with this business? What would you want it to be? Second thing you need to do is you need to message that to your upline and tell them what you would do. And then leaders, I'm calling you. I'm calling on all of y'all. You're going to take those gigantic hearts that you have for people, because that's the only kind of leaders we have on this team. You're going to take your gigantic heart and you are going to pour into that person who sent that to you and tell them exactly how to get there. Here's a hint. They got to hear no, and not from us. You got to ask the questions. Now, what if you don't know anything about the product? What if you don't have your own story? Guess what? That's perfect. I don't know is a brilliant answer for somebody, but it needs to be followed with but I will find out for you. And that's why we're here. That's why our community exists. That's why we partner with you guys to help you. That's why we have pages like Grow in Health and Happiness. That's why there are files in Grow. That's why there's the Grow in the Leader Lounge. That's why we have our back office, our virtual office, all of the things. And here's just a little tip for any of you guys who want a really hot tip or good tip on a hot pony. How does that saying go? With Plexus, if you're like, but I don't know what to start them on, 99% of the time, Triplex and Ease, or Triplex and X Factor. That covers pretty much everything. I think for, I don't know how many years in my business, probably up until Senior Ruby, I probably only started people on Triplex or double Triplex. So guys, y'all want to make like over $6,000 a month? Just get people on Triplex. Triplex and Ease, or Triplex and X Factor Plus. That's the clincher. We know that if people start on 4 products or more, they are so much more successful. They don't even have statistics because they just stay on the products forever. Why is that? Detox. We can talk about that later. All right. So actionable steps. Remember, where are you going? Share it with your upline. Talk with your upline about a plan to get you there, and start asking the questions. Hey, I don't know if you have seen what I've been talking about lately, but you were on my heart, and I just wanted to tell you about this Plexus thing that I've got going on because I feel better than I ever have. Dries wants to start with me. Doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to have verbiage that's written down. You can literally muddle your way through it, and you can say, I am really not fantastic yet at telling people what I really want to say, so just give me a second. And that's why voice messages are fantastic, because if people hear you say stuff like that, they're so forgiving. I'm not really good at talking about this yet, but I just want to tell you, I've been taking like a drink every day and some probiotics and some magnesium, and it's completely blowing my mind and changing my life. And I know that you deal with A, B, or C. And so I thought of you. Can I send you some stuff? No questions asked. Like you don't need to say yes, you're gonna jump in with me, but would you watch a video if I sent it to you? Simple, simple, simple stuff. All right, if you guys are madly scrambling, trying to write those things down, we have this recorded, it's okay. And I can regurgitate at any point in time. All I'm trying to say is make it so simple.
And we'll drop the links underneath this, so you don't have to worry about copying links or anything like that.
Awesome.
Because
Yeah.
there's actually two books that I've been going back and forth with. So I'm actually going to drop the one that we want to work with under the video.
Excellent. Again, that's Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock. We're finishing up the Slight Edge. I think we've got 2 weeks left of this. 3. 2? How many? How many chapters do we have left? We do 2 chapters a week. And even if you haven't read the book, it's okay. Come join us on Saturday mornings. We are on chapter 13 and 14 this week. And then we go to, it's got to be at least 2. Where are we at? 15 and 16. Yeah, I think we're only 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. Fantastic book. Fantastic. Sherry, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm excited about doing the Go for No, and I want to make sure to put the right book in, because the Go for No that's most fun to read is the story style. So I want to make sure you get the right book in.
Absolutely. So what I would ask from you guys is, if you want to have a really successful fall and winter, the end of 2022, join us and commit to your business, to building a business. Maybe you don't have one. Maybe you don't know how you got where you are now, but commit to building a business with us for the next 60 days and creating some really good habits and learning and becoming a student of what this looks like. I promise you, it will never come back to you empty. We're always talking about how Plexus is personal growth with a compensation plan, and it totally is. It totally, totally is. So even if you try this out for 60 days, or you try your business out until the end of 2022, and you're like, gosh, I really haven't moved the needle forward in my business, I promise you, if you have really leaned in, you will have grown exponentially as a person. And chances are you've probably made quite a bit of money too. So it never hurts. It never hurts. So start inviting people to Grow in Health and Happiness, where you're going to find lots of testimonials to support what you're talking about. Lean into your upline support. Post things that you find really inspiring. Take pictures of yourself drinking your pink drink. Don't make it weird. Guys, we don't do anything that is like unicorn special. We seriously say the same things over and over again. Share with people, love them well, and serve them where they're at. That's what this business is all about at the heart of it. So anyway, I'm excited for us. We're going to talk more about the next 60 days in the next few days, but for 60 days probably. Finishing out this quarter super strong. How you guys can maximize this. We don't want you working every second of every day. That's not fun. A lot of this is time freedom. And so we want you to have that as well. Let us help you. Let us love on you. And thank you for being here. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, guys.